the day she drove away his dreams. The sun was setting over the bustling streets, casting a golden glow over the city as she stepped out of the sleek, black Mercedes. The sunlight danced across her designer sunglasses, and a diamond-encrusted watch sparkled on her wrist. She was the epitome of success, a far cry from the young woman he had taken to school every day, supporting her through her education. But as she turned to him, her eyes held a cold calculation, a glint of disdain that made his heart sink. "You've served your purpose," she said, her voice as detached as her gaze. "But now, I'm moving on. I need someone who can keep up with my lifestyle, not hold me back." The words cut deep, a harsh reminder that the woman he had loved and supported through thick and thin no longer saw him as worthy. She had climbed the corporate ladder, driven past him in more ways than one, and now, he was nothing but a relic of her past. He remembered the days when she'd thank him for every lift, every note she missed in class, every late-night study session he'd endured with her. She would smile at him, her eyes sparkling with gratitude, and he'd feel like the luckiest man alive. But now, her gratitude had turned to disdain. She saw him as a stepping stone, not a partner. The realization hit him like a ton of bricks. He had given her the world, or so he thought, but in her eyes, it wasn't enough. She wanted more wealth, more status, more luxury. And he, in his simplicity, had thought love would be enough. As she drove away in her car, leaving him standing alone in the dust, he felt like he'd been punched in the gut. He watched her disappear into the traffic, wondering how things had changed so drastically. Hadn't they once talked about building a life together? Hadn't they once shared dreams of a simple, happy life? The pain of her rejection lingered, but as he stood there, something inside him shifted. He realized that he had a choice. He could let her rejection define him, or he could use it as fuel to chase his own dreams. The fire of determination ignited within him. He would work on his future, become the man she wouldn't dare look down upon. He would rise, not for her validation, but for his own pride. With a newfound sense of purpose, he began to plot his path forward. He enrolled in courses, honed his skills, and networked with people in his desired field. Every late night spent studying, every rejection he faced, and every obstacle he overcame only strengthened his resolve. Months turned into years, and slowly but surely, he started to see the fruits of his labor. He landed a job in a prestigious company, started earning a six-figure salary, and eventually, he found himself driving past her on the highway in his own luxury car. The irony wasn't lost on him. He had become the very thing she had once desired in a partner. But as he glanced over and saw her in the passenger seat of another man's car, he felt a sense of peace wash over him. He had done it. He had become the man he set out to be, not for her, but for himself. He didn't stop at his success. He continued to climb, to innovate, and to push boundaries. And as he looked back on the journey, he realized that her rejection had been the catalyst for his growth. It had pushed him to become the best version of himself. Years later, when he was a renowned entrepreneur, he would look back on this moment with gratitude. The pain of rejection had been real, but it had also been a blessing in disguise. It had driven him to achieve greatness, to prove to himself that he was capable of more than he ever thought possible. And so, his story became one of triumph, a testament to the power of resilience and determination. He had risen from the ashes, stronger and wiser, and he knew that no matter what life threw his way, he would always come out on top.